Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We are in Massachusetts today, Boston specifically, and we are speaking with leading technology companies in the area to see what's happening with their companies, what's happening with the technology space in the future. And on our program today is Dan Faulkner, who is the VP of Product Management and Marketing at Nuance. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Rich.
So what's the latest at Nuance? You guys are doing so many different things.
We are. We're doing a lot of different things at the moment. I work in our enterprise business, which is primarily focused on customer care. But we're quite lucky in a way because we have this great mobile business that sits next to our customer care business, and we're seeing a huge pull from our enterprise customers saying, "How can you help us?" As all of the consumer population moves so heavily towards mobile devices, and particularly towards smartphones. That's creating a new customer service environment that we feel we're able to solve in kind of new and interesting ways.
So let's talk about some of those new and interesting ways. What are the things you're doing?
There are a number of things. The first one, I guess, I would talk about is for a couple of years we've had a product called Nuance Mobile Care, and we've been selling that to mobile operators. And the way and the trick, the key thing with Nuance Mobile Care is a capability called Call Intercept. And that's part of a client that resides on the phone, on the mobile phone. And when someone dials the number for customer care, it recognizes the phone number and changes the behavior of the phone. It actually prevents the phone from making a call and immediately launches a visual application. Very, very fast, goes over the data network and pulls down your personal data information. So in the mobile operator environment, it would tell you how many minutes you have left on your account, when your next payment is due, when your last payment was, things like that. It may proactively offer a plan that seems to be well suited to you based on your usage. But more importantly, it lets you carry out a lot of self-service on the device. And the key thing is it has to happen really quickly. It has to be very easy to use because, of course, there's no user manual that comes with this. And we've had huge success with that. We've seen 85% self-service on the device, meaning people actually completely self-serve on the device without ever placing a phone call. And obviously for our customers, the value of that, of just preventing those calls coming into the contact center is very high. And the customer satisfaction and that we see both from direct reports from consumers and just from their repeated use of the application is encouraging.
Now, it's interesting to me because many of those calls are placed from vehicles. So it's interesting to me. So if it's an 85% pickup, I would imagine that more than 15% of the people are driving. So it's kind of an interesting stat.
That's an interesting point. So there's a couple of interesting things there. One is I think this is a visual application, not a speech application.
No, I understand.
Actually on NMC. So we really hope people aren't using that while they're driving. Actually, a big thrust of our mobile division has been speech instead of visual media.
Absolutely.
For safety.
And I've got to say, in the car, I have been in a couple situations where I needed to get something out, and I do use your application on an iPhone to speak out my thoughts, where I'm able to have that saved, so I don't forget when I'm thinking about that. Maybe at the next light, I can email it to myself or whatever.
Right. And so it's funny, although we're getting 85% self-service, we're not seeing an 85% reduction in calls into the contact center. Actually, people like the application, and they find it very easy to use, so they're using it more frequently.
And so if
you want to check your balance, well, they're not actually placing a call, really, are they? They may be dialing the numbers, but the app is launching on the phone without a call ever really being placed.
So is the next phase of customer service then to interface with these mobile apps before the calls even get to the contact center and try to have the best of contact center technology and the best of the web and smartphone interface?
Certainly that's an option, and really what we're trying to do is give people choice. There's a certain category of problem, there's a certain category of customer service task where people really want to talk to a person.
Right.
There's a certain category where people really will feel very happy using an automated IVR system, particularly a speech-enabled IVR system, which has been our core business for a number of years. But with these new devices, with the very high bandwidth data networks, and with a new generation of consumers coming through who are, you know, very used to communicating using text and going to the web first or using a mobile application first. We want to make sure that we've got usable applications in place for people who prefer to use that.
Now, there is really a tremendous push by governments right now to, or by state governments to reduce texting and driving. So I'm imagining that your technology is being used by more and more applications to provide voice access.
Absolutely, and again, this would be more in the mobile division within Nuance, but there's a number of speech technologies that are being distributed on mobile devices. Some actually completely reside on the mobile device, so they're installed on the handset at manufacture time by the large device manufacturers, and other software is downloadable client-server software. And the best example of that actually is probably our Dragon dictation software and our Dragon search, which have been particularly popular for the iPhone. They've been right at the top of the iTunes App Store for quite a while. And it's exactly that capability that's then being embedded into other applications. So we have a Nuance Mobile Developer Program, and there are some very large brands, the likes of Amazon, the likes of Ask.com, who've integrated their mobile applications to our Dragon dictation capability so that now you can control those applications using your voice. From a safety perspective, we have deals in place with device manufacturers, and we have created applications or capabilities that we call driver mode. And it essentially enables you, when you go into the car, you can set your device to driver mode, and it will tell you when someone's sent you an SMS message, and then allow you or give you the option of reading that message out to you, and you can control that interaction strictly using your voice. You don't need to touch the phone, you don't need to look at the phone, you can keep driving, and you can even dictate your response.
Very cool stuff.
Yeah.
So in terms of what your company is doing in the smart grid, can you let us know what's happening there?
Well, the smart grid in the utility space we see as creating a new set of customer care calls because it's really a fundamental change in how utilities are going to manage their accounts and how they're going to manage energy consumption. It's going to drive a completely new range of contacts from consumers to the utility. And a lot of those we think are just going to be questions about their bill, about exactly what the grid is doing. And so we're investing, we've invested in really understanding that space well, talked to a lot of our utilities customers. We've created a set of solutions really to try and accommodate that new range of questions. And actually one of the ways we're doing that is by implementing our natural language understanding technology. Because there's going to be this slew of new and as yet not particularly well understood or well defined questions coming into the contact centers, one of the most natural ways that we can help our utilities customers is to enable them to capture the large variety of questions simply by saying, how can we help you? Letting people describe what they want in their own terms. There's going to be a lot of misunderstanding, not a common use of the new vernacular in that space. So as long as we understand that and we've captured that in our natural language understanding applications, we'll be able to interpret the problem that those consumers are trying to solve in the new smart grid environment and route them to the right place in the utility to get customer care.
Fantastic. Are there any things we didn't touch on?
No, I think that pretty much covers. Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, no, that covers it for the moment.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for being on the program.
All right, it's my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.